Hi guys, welcome to my vegan and vegetable month of July, which is ending on the 31st, guys. I hope you have enjoyed all these recipes that I have done so far. But as of August, I will be going back to my traditional Jamaican way of cooking my home cooked food. I will do recipes for you guys as requested as usual, but these vegan and vegetarian recipes will be ending on July 31st. Here I am going to make you guys a vegan vegetarian lasagna, and I hope you guys like this recipe that I'm about to make. It's going to be fast and it's going to be easy and it's going to be simple. So if you want to see how I make this vegan vegetarian lasagna recipe, come on and let's ride my wave now. Now guys, let's go in and talk about all your ingredients that you are going to need in order to make up this lasagna. It is going to be so fast and so easy. So let's talk about our macaroni. We're going to use this instead. So this is what we're going to use instead of using any macaroni of any sort in there. So I'm also going to add the eggplant. So instead of adding meat, I'm going to use these eggplants here instead of the meat, right? Now, I'm also going to add some kale, some fresh kale to that right here, and that's going to be yummy. It's going to give it a wicked nice. I'm going to use my vegetable pasta sauce for this recipe. I'm also going to add 1 cup of, I'm also going to be adding 1 cup of dairy-free yogurt. This is soy, okay? This is vegan yogurt. I'm also going to be adding a tablespoon of garlic, and I'm also going to be spicing this thing up because you want it to taste real good. So I'm going to give it a little flavor with some Jamaican all-purpose seasoning, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt as well. Now, if you are diabetic, you throw that salt out, okay? Now, right here, I have my vegan cheese, hard cheddar, and the one that I'm using is, it has, I don't know if you guys could see this, but it has peppers in it. So it has green pepper, red pepper, and yellow pepper in this one. So that's the one that I'm going to be using to my lasagna dish. And this one right here is my mozzarella cheese, and this is my vegan cheese as well. I'm going to use both of them into this recipe. Of course, I'm going to be cooking with my vinegar, right? And what else we have over here that I'm going to give this dish a little twist. Here I have 1 sweet potato and 1 Irish, that's baked fresh potato. So it's baked potato and sweet potato, or you'll call that yam, sweet yam or whatever, but we call it sweet potato in Jamaica, but it's a different kind of potato. This is the yam. So I'm going to be combining these 2 ingredients to make this lasagna dish. So let's go ahead and get this started. Okay guys, now we're moving on to the next step. And you want to make sure that you wash your vegetables real well. And this is your eggplant, and all I did was cut off the ends, right? So it looked like this. I cut off the ends, and you make sure that you wash them nice. Now, as far as my squash go, this is what the squash looks like, right? So all I did was cut them just like how you would have your lasagna macaroni for making lasagna. So you just want to cut them just like this. And I'm not going to make a very big lasagna today. So I have 6 pieces here. You wash them, you cut them like in strips. Now, as far as your eggplant go, you're going to do the same thing, which is just cut them just like you did that vegetables. So you cut them like that. And this is how you want that to be. Okay, so now I have my butter squash and my eggplant cut the way I want it to be. I'm going to now go in with my baking pan. You need a flat surface like this. Now guys, at this point you want to make sure that you turn your oven on. Make sure you turn your oven on because you're going to be toasting these up. You basically want to soften it up before you go ahead and start doing anything with it, right? So all you're going to do is you get your baking pan like that, and you just put them on there. Let's put them on there this way. And now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my, I'm just going to get a little bit of virgin olive oil right there, and I'm just going to brush my virgin olive oil on top of my squash and my eggplants. I'm going to put a little bit of salt on here. I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle my black pepper on here too. And then I'm going to pop this in my oven. And I'm going to let that toast up for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, we're moving on to our next step. Now that I have my squash and my eggplant in the oven toasting up, we're going to get our kale ready. I already washed these thoroughly. Like with any vegetables, you want to make sure that you wash them really good. So you wash them with cold water a couple of times. Make sure you don't have the dirt, you don't cook dirt in your food, right? So all I'm going to do with these guys, I'm going to take them off the stem, and all I'm doing is just pushing it up like that. So you see it comes right off the stem immediately. And I'm going to leave this part. I want this part of it. So let me show you what I did again. I just push up and it comes right off the stem. Just like that. And I break that off. And this part I'm going to keep, the leafy part. Okay guys, next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and cut these up. And I'm not going to do them too small because I don't want it to disappear into my lasagna. When I cook this down, it's going to shrink anyway. So I'm just giving this little light cuts like that. So, okay guys, that's perfect. So I'm going to move on to my next step. Okay guys, so we are moving on to our next step. The first thing you want to do is get your oil in that pot. Make sure that you're using the oil of your choice that you like. I'm using coconut oil in mine. So what I'm going to do now here, I'm going to go ahead and put my sweet potato in here. And guys, those sweet potatoes halfway cooked, okay? And I'm going to put my baked potato in here as well. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of garlic here. Salt, seasoned salt, and black pepper to flavor. Because, you know, even though it's vegetable or vegetarian or vegan or whatever, you want to make sure that your food has flavor. Because I've been getting a lot of messages, people telling me that, you know, they didn't like to eat vegan because it has no flavor. But you have to flavor this thing up to eat it, right? And guys, remember these dishes are going to be ending July 31st is the last day. Now, after you get those ingredients together, you want to go ahead and add your vinegar, because you know I'm gonna cook without vinegar, right? So I'm adding a teaspoon of vinegar to it, and mix that around a little bit. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add my Greek non-dairy yogurt. Add my yogurt in here, my non-dairy vegan yogurt in here. Also going to add my applesauce, 1 cup of each. My fire, guys, is on medium heat. Now that cheese, that cheddar cheese that I have here, I'm going to go ahead and add a half of it. I'm going to put half of it when I'm finished completing the dish. Alright, so that's about that. And then the last and final thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to put my kale on top of here, just like that. And I'm going to cover that up, and I'm going to let it steam for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish off this dish. So I'll see you back in 15 minutes. Okay guys, so that is done. That's exactly how you want it to look. That's supposed to be nice and creamy. Just like that. So I'm going to turn the heat off, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So this is going to be her filling. We will move on. So okay guys, now that my butter squash is ready, nice and golden brown, and my eggplant is perfect the way I want it, that is ready. Now it's time to get my lasagna together. Now the very first thing you want to go ahead and do is get your spaghetti sauce, and you put it into the bottom of your container and spread it evenly. And I'm going to go ahead and put my squash in, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my eggplant in. So that's pretty good. I'm going to put my filling in now. You want to put your cheese on top, a little bit of that mozzarella, put my eggplant again. You just basically repeating the same thing you did before. Your filling, you put your cheese on top again. Just kind of spread it out nice. And the last thing you're going to do is go in again and get your cheese and just lay it on top. And I'm going to put this in my oven, and I'm going to let this bake for about 45 minutes. And within 45 minutes that should be done. I'm going to let you guys see what that looks like on a plate when it's all cooled down. So I'll see you guys back in 45 minutes. So there you have it guys. My vegan vegetarian lasagna is all done. As you can see, it's nice and hot. It's pretty much still bubbly. Just took it out of the oven. It was baked for exactly 45 to 50 minutes. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to let it go ahead and sit for a little bit before I start cutting into it, okay? Because I want to use you guys to see exactly what it looks like on the inside and how delicious it looks. I pity you guys couldn't get a slice. But anyway, I'm going to take you guys later in for a little closer look on the inside. So I'll see you back in a few. Okay guys, so now that the lasagna is nice and cool, I'm going to go ahead and cut into it. There you go. So that's your lasagna right there. Looks pretty good and tasty as well. It's yummy. You can see all your vegetables on the inside right there. It's pretty good. Alright guys, go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you'd like to see me cooking next in my kitchen. And as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy!
Drowning in waves in the ocean of time.
going to let this cook for a good 30 minutes on medium heat. Cover it up nice and make it simmer. And when it's done simmer, a time for we eat. So see you back in a few minutes.
So this is in with your foundation, full coverage, you know, like bam. And last but not least, the last thing I tend to go for in my makeup collection is this palette right here. Let me show you what this baby looks like. It has a whole bunch of concealers. I believe it's $10 for this palette.